Welcome back to Safa's Unscripted, episode 115. As you can see, once again, it's just myself and Brevan. Brevan, brother, no rugby this weekend. It's a sad day for the world. How are you feeling? After the first 2 game weeks?
Yeah, I mean, super chuffed with our results so far. Obviously, 2 wins, 2 bonus points, 1 with a team that we weren't so sure about. Obviously, got the haircut in, got a fresh cut, and ready for a week of building up to New Zealand with some fun stuff and obviously some serious stuff as well. So, yeah, I'm keen to get into it.
Yeah, of course. I just saw my Wi-Fi, my bars has just dropped a bit. So just call me out if I blur a bit or you can't hear me properly. But anyway, people, seeing that there's no rugby, we thought we'll bring you a little fun episode. We'll have a fun episode on Friday as well. We'll see, maybe. But we thought it would be interesting to go like kind of all-time start bench drop of the Rugby Championship. Obviously, Argentina, they haven't been in the Rugby Championship for too long. And since they've been in there, they haven't been really impressed or impressive as of yet. So don't be surprised if you don't hear too many Argentinian names. But it's like a mixture of current day, old days, just all kind of combined. Just as a little fun one, I would love for you guys to come into the comment section and tell us which ones you truly disagree on. What is your opinion? Literally, listen to all of them. Type it in the comment section. Send us a long comment of every single pick you would have made. We love reading your comments. We absolutely, truly love it all, you guys. So please do remember to like and subscribe. But without any further ado, let's get underway. And we're going to start off with a little feisty one, Brevan. I'm going straight to you. Start, bench, drop. Aaron Smith, Fourie du Preez, and George Gregan.
Sure.
We're starting off feisty. The people will be mad from the start.
Yeah, literally. There's gonna be people that disagree, people that agree. So get ready for a feisty episode. So obviously all 3 of them probably but all 3 are in the top 4 or 5 scrum-halves of all time. It's crazy competitions, but I'm gonna go. You gotta. It's so tough because I have to strategize. Who do you want to come off the bench? And
because obviously we said it before we even started this episode. Like you have to put it in not in match scenario, but you have to think about the guy on the bench. He's still going to come on. Who's going to make a better impact from the bench? Do you want a subtle guy just to bring you calmness, or do you want someone that can actually put you in the lead that's going to chase the game better? It kind of just depends on your approach. But I'll give you the floor. Give me who's starting this game.
Okay, well, I'm first actually just going to say I'm dropping George Gregan. That's the first thing. Obviously, I know he's a great player, but I just think for what I would probably do is I'd drop George Gregan. And then I'd probably start Fourie du Preez on the basis that I feel like Aaron Smith could bring more off the bench. He's quick at ruck time, his passes are accurate. It's going to be looser towards the end of the game. Obviously, I still think Aaron Smith is the greatest scrum-half of all time, basically. I think he's absolutely phenomenal. And he could also play that starting role. But just between the 2, I think Aaron would probably play the bench role better than Fourie would. So that would be my decision.
Yeah. If you've ever watched episodes of us, you would know I've always said Aaron Smith is the greatest 9 to grace this earth. And I don't even think it's close. I think he is absolutely phenomenal. But I fully agree with you. Just on the basis of his impact from the bench would be better. I know there's other people that would take the different approach and just say start, bench, drop as 1, 2, 3. But I'm kind of putting the best one on the bench just because he's got way more to offer than Fourie du Preez. Fourie du Preez just kind of seeing the game, seeing how it flows. He can produce some magic, but obviously the impact of Aaron Smith would be so much better. We're going into modern day with the next one. Pablo Matera on his day. We have to say on his day because every now and again he has a shocker.
On his day, yeah.
Pablo Matera on his day. Siya Kolisi on his day. And on his day, Dalton Papali'i. Now we're going modern day. Obviously, it's not really the greats of rugby, but I think this is a tight call.
It is very tight. You know what? I'd probably start Matera on his day. I think that Oak on his day is absolutely phenomenal. Like, he is in the top 4 loose forwards in the world on his day. He's that good. Um, Coming off the bench, I'd probably take Seal off the bench. I feel like his defensive effort is just, obviously we know he usually only plays like 40 to 50 minutes. So if you give him a good half an hour, 25 minutes, you know he's going to give it everything. And you know he's going to make a lot more of a defensive effort if that's the case. So I'd probably drop Dalton, bench Sia, and start Matera.
Yeah, I've got it a bit different. I'm also starting Pablo Matera. I think he's great. Like, I mean, look at that performance that he put up against the All Blacks in the first game, right? So I agree with you on the starting. I do not have Sia. I
Sure.
decided to go with Dalton Papali'i. I remember seeing this guy for the first time playing for the All Blacks from the bench. I was like, that was still with his blonde hair, right? When they played
Yeah.
against Wales, and I was like, this guy is absolutely insane. I don't know who this guy is, because that was like kind of in that time that I didn't really follow the Super Rugby or anything. I'm not even sure if it was his debut for the All Blacks, but I was like, this guy is absolutely insane. Obviously, he's starting for the All Blacks now, but on his day, he's brilliant. I really
Yeah.
rate Dalton
He
Papali'i.
is. He is. He is.
And kind of like, I don't want to be hypocritical and say like I take Sia when I've been kind of critical about him in terms of saying he's not necessarily the best loose forward. Like, he's got that aura and he brings so much to the Springbok team. I'm not taking anything away from him. I just think the other two are a bit better players, if I could say it like that. We're sticking in the modern day anyway. We're going Colby, Jordan, and Kurabeti. Obviously, Will Jordan, very impressive try scoring record. I think the people will be thankful that Brett isn't here, because he's dropping him instantly.
Brett's definitely dropping him. So this is obviously us. Colby starts. Don't even get me started. Like, that's simple.
Yeah.
Colby starts. It's now between who benches and gets dropped.
So
So
that's easy. I've got it for you. I'll tell you now. It's Colby starts, because he can play in any position. Like, he's absolutely brilliant. Do you think Colby doesn't even have that many caps? Like, you would think. Like, I saw a combined 15 for Rugby Championship, and people, literally almost everyone, put Colby in there, and I'm like, well, this guy, does he even have 50 caps for the box yet?
I think it's like 38 or something. 37.
Exactly. That just tells you the impact of the guy. Like, yeah, he doesn't have the impressive try scoring record.
Just quickly, and we can move on. But I saw something the other day. Colby has won a World Cup every 19 games, or even before that, because it's how crazy is that? It's weird. It's just like such a weird.
Yeah, and now we saw the guy. The guy can go into prop. He can play scrum-half. He can kick at goal. I mean, why wouldn't you want this guy on the field to start your game? So Colby, obviously, as I just mentioned, doesn't have the try-scoring record of Will Jordan necessarily, but he's not a finisher. Colby's not your finisher. He creates something out of nothing, magic. He can do it all. Colby starts. I'm bringing Will Jordan off the bench, just pure gas, running at tired bodies, put him in some space, and he's gone. Marika Kurabeti, I mean, does the guy have arms? Does he have arms? I mean, I don't want to play with 22 players during my match. Obviously, this is a bit of bias with him going after my pimps. But, yeah, I just think overall the other two are quite ahead of Kurabeti.
Yeah, I was also thinking Jordan. Only reason I consider Kurabeti is because on his day, he is a very good player. Obviously, we know he doesn't use his arms when he tackles, but, you know, at least he gets away with it. So that's the bonus. But, yeah, I think Will Jordan's the obvious choice, because his try scoring record speaks for itself. And then also, you know, towards the end of a game, just put him in the space and you'll finish, you know. So, yeah. Pretty simple.
Yeah, we're actually agreeing a lot more, and I think the people will actually agree with it. I don't think there's been too many wild shouts of us, but I'm going straight to an all-out All Blacks one, and this is where I want the All Black supporters to step in here. I know they don't all play the same position, but if you had to pick one, we've got one for South Africa, we've got one for the All Blacks, and we've got one for the Wallabies as well. If you had to pick one, Audie Surveyor, Richie McCaw, or Kieran Reid, I know Richie McCaw, he plays as Lucy, not in that 8 jersey. But if you just had to pick one, who are you going with, Brevan?
So I'd definitely start Ardy. That's kind of like the straight up obvious one for me. Now that could be controversial, but Ardy Surveyor, I mean, what an oak. And then I mean, you got to put Richie on the bench. I mean, it would be so disrespectful to not have him. You can't drop Richie McCaw. Yeah. You just know what he brings just by his aura is enough to win a game. So I mean, but going off pure playing wise, Richie McCaw just knew how to kind of use those rules to his advantage, kind of snuck around them, but also a very intelligent player. Obviously a hard worker, but obviously Artie Survey is just, I think, a better player all round.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go Artie, start, bench, McCaw, and drop Reed.
Yeah, Reed, absolutely sensational. And there's probably a lot of people that say he's the best 8 that the All Blacks has ever had. But I've never seen a forward play like Artie. I'm big on giving players their flowers while they're still playing. When we did a couple of months ago, even we did a all-time top 10 forwards of all time, and I put Artie Savea up really high, and like that, this guy is unbelievable. He does literally everything. And I've mentioned it a couple of times. Even when the All Blacks went through that little slump under Fozzie, he was still a standout player. Like he was literally carrying that team nearly by himself. I've never seen Audie have a bad game. So Audie starts. It's non-negotiable. And then I agree with you on the McCaw shout on the bench. Even though I think Kieran Reid is a better player, when I think of the impact that McCaw can have from the bench in terms of just bending the rules, but getting on the wrong side, but doing it so sneaky where the ref can't really see or whatever, just the way that he played the game to hunt down some penalties when you're chasing the game, get under the other player's skin, those type of things, like just kind of like that Kwagga Smith impact from the bench. I would love that. I think he would thrive in that role, that Kwagga Smith role. Just telling him, just pull some shithousery there in the second half when you come on, just cause absolute chaos. Yeah. I don't think you can really doubt our decisions at the moment. And somehow I think that we'll get a lot of comments that says, "Listen, are we brain dead? Are we brain dead?"
Probably. Yeah,
Probably,
I'm
yeah.
sure we will.
Yeah, probably. Anyway, let's move on to modern day once again. We've got Augustine Krebe. We've got, well, the veteran. We've got Malcolm Marx and Cody Taylor. I think this is the tightest one that we've had this far. I'm not going to lie.
Really? Sure. I mean, look.
Yeah. I know I'm starting, but the bench one is tough.
I mean, yeah. If I had it, I mean, many people would say, yeah, Chuck Marks on the bench because that's what he's been doing all along, you know. But Malcolm Marx is the best hooker, like, ever. I love the oak. And, I mean, if that oak if he didn't have such a serious injury, I think he would have been huge in that World Cup. And we were starting to see a Malcolm Marx start a bit more, you know. And obviously when Malcolm, in that 2017, 2018 era when we were horrific,
yeah.
Malcolm Marx was the diamond in an absolute disgraceful, just
in a Rockburn year, Elton Yankees, Ronnie van Rensburg era.
He was, I mean, he single-handedly brought us within 2 points of the All Blacks in Cape Town after we had lost 57-0. Yeah. And so Mark starts for me, non-negotiable. The next one is tough because if you saw what Augustine Krebe brought off the bench against New Zealand just a few weeks ago,
yeah,
I mean,
at like 49
but then
years
again,
old.
Cody Taylor is absolutely phenomenal. Like Cody
Yeah,
Taylor,
a lot of people would probably say Cody Taylor starts as well.
yeah, and they have every right to say that because I think many people, like I said, will go with Marks on the bench because that's been his role, even though we know he's better than Bongi. I mean, Bongi is a great player, don't get me wrong, but Malcolm Marx is not.
Disrespect.
No, I didn't mean it like that. But so I'm actually going to bench Creevy, and I'm gonna drop Taylor, unfortunately, because I just think.
River, this is starting to get boring because I'm
Are
agreeing
you
with you.
agreeing as well? Oh,
I
I
mean,
think
it's
we're
a
gonna
bit
go
controversial
Taylor.
because Cody Taylor had a sensational game against Argentina literally the weekend that just passed. But I just think put some respect on one or two Argentine players. Like, even if it's just a bit of a charity case throwing this out there, he's the veteran. He's done it for years. He's probably the best. He'll probably go down as the best Argentinian rugby player ever, right? Would he?
Yeah, fair. It's fair to say, but then
Yeah.
again,
I'm going with
what's
Marks
the
to
point of
start, by
him?
the way.
Yeah.
Once again, same as the Audi thing. Give them the flowers while they still play. He was also in my top 10 forwards of all time. I think he is crazy good. Like, the fact that people actually talk about Dan Sheehan in the same sentence is blasphemy. So I'm going with Malcolm Marks to start, Crivy on the bench, and I'm dropping Cody Taylor. It feels wrong to say that.
That does feel wrong. I feel bad because he is a great player, and no disrespect meant in dropping.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm sure
Let's
there's going
go
to be
on
one
to...
soon that we disagree on.
Sorry?
I said I'm sure there's going to be one that we disagree on soon, hopefully.
Yeah. I'm trying to think which one am I bringing up next. Let's go saucy. Jonah Lomu, Brian Abana, and Campese. First and foremost, let me just tell you. I'll tell you mine first. I'm throwing Campese in the bin. Okay? Not out of disrespect, but I'm not 80 years old. I've not seen this guy play. Right? I've hardly even seen John Olamu play. Okay? This guy retired before I even knew what rugby was. Okay? Obviously, I've seen the highlights and stuff, and he kind of revolutionized the game. So I'm starting Brian Abana, right? You can say that's bias. But then also, I think John Olamu running, bulldozing over people, coming off the bench. You want to tell me how scary that is? Imagine you just had to deal with Brian Abana, and then you bring on John Olamu. Dude, I would be shitting bricks.
Yeah.
That's mine.
Yeah. Well, yeah. First of all, I think we're very much a similar age. So Campese wasn't someone I got to see a lot of. So I can't really put him in a team that I.
People will be thinking like, why did you even make the list with him then?
Well, we just knew we thought Australian wingers, and I was like, put Takiri in there because I saw a bit of him, and I'm like, no, that just doesn't work. And then we thought, okay, Campese because he has been put by a lot as top 10 players of all time, so we'll give him that. But yeah, I'm gonna start Lomu and I'm gonna bench Abana. Now this may be because he portrayed the Bulls. I don't know. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, you little salty twat.
No, I'm going to start Lomu because I mean, from what I saw of it, because obviously, same thing, we didn't get to see much of Lomu, but there's so much highlight clips of him that we basically seen what he could do. And he just, I mean, he ran over people. Now, many people have the opinion that would he be able to do that again in this era? Because
yeah, but we're not judging this on. We're judging it on what their career was, not if they could perform in modern era. Because otherwise, you only choose modern era. The game evolved.
Yeah, true. Yeah, no, I just think Lomu, for what he was during his time, was special. It was not seen before. It had never been. It was a new thing in rugby. Just changed the whole landscape of the game. And then obviously Abana on the bench, just because. I mean, remember that when Colby came off the bench against the All Blacks and made such a big impact, I feel like Abana could do the same thing. So yeah, that's why I chuck Abana on the bench. But I do love Abana. I mean, Abana arguably could start that game for sure because I mean he is one of the best of all time.
Okay, let's go to our fellow South Africans. We said we have one for each. We're sticking in the loosies.
Oh, this one is tough.
We've got Skalkberger. We've got Pieter-Steph du Toit. We've got Juan Smith.
Yeah.
The thing is, like, you think, okay, well, Pieter-Steph and Skalk has to be the best, and then you just remember how good Juan Smith used to be.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely sensational.
Yeah, I mean, you're looking at Pieter-Steph's career is basically based on Juan Smith, like such similar players.
Yeah.
But look, I'm starting Peter Steph to toy.
Oh, wow.
1,000%. There is no
Wow.
negotiation. Peter Steph the toy is going down as one of the best Lucy's, well, if not one of the best players of all time one day. The guy is incredible. His defensive effort, I mean, how he finds himself attacking on the wings, and working hard to get there, not just chilling there. You know, he wraps around. His work rate, I mean, that oak just never gets hurt. Whenever do you see Peter Steph hurt? Like when he's hurt, he recovers quick, you know. So yeah, I'm starting Peter Steph. I'm gonna bench Schalkberger and I'm gonna drop John Smith. It is tough because obviously, well, all three are World Cup winners. So
Yeah.
crazy. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
2007 and then obviously 2019, 23. Okay. I'm also getting rid of John Smith, right? Just because when we talk about the other two, we talk about two of the best ever, right? When Peter Steph finally steps down, right? How old is Peter Steph? Let me actually check. I don't
He's
even
like
know how old
30, 32, 33.
Peter Steph to toy age. Let's check. Now, why would it not throw me up the first thing? Now I go to Wikipedia first. Okay, he's 32.
That's
Okay.
young, man. That's young.
Yeah, he's got another World Cup in him. Maybe two. Imagine.
Imagine.
Okay. I'm starting. I'm starting Schalkberger. Okay. I think the guy. I love Peter Steph. Literally fanboy of the guy. I mean, the guy cried when he got a red card against France. That just tells you how much this jersey means to him. Absolute workhorse. Potentially up for another Player of the Year. Has to be in the nominations at the
It's
moment with
true.
England.
It's true.
If he wins the Rugby Championship, obviously it makes it a bit tough for the fact that he plays in Japan. But I think wasn't the Rugby like the Player of the Year and stuff deadline when they already chose it before the World Cup? Because now if you take that, like he's won the World Cup and the Rugby Championship going into this, but obviously DuPont is also in the conversation. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. Schalkberger, with the threat of him getting sent off, I don't want to end the game with those 14 boys on the field and stuff in the second half. We know some eye gouging, we know some head butting can come into play. Rather do that at the start of the game. Okay, and if we see his head's not at the races, then we bring on Peter Steph. Okay, that's purely what I'm basing it on because I can't choose between the two of them. I mean, I grew up idolizing Schalkberger and how good this guy was. Like everyone loved Schalkberger. Like he was probably the guy that him and Bucky's did the most shithousery. That if any one of our players in this team now, even though how good they are now, did that, we would absolutely be throwing remotes at the TV. But because it was them and they were so loved and adored, they could just kind of do what they wanted to. So Schalkberger gets my start. Peter Steph with the engine that never runs out comes on from the bench. I don't even
Yeah.
know why. Like I said, it's because of discipline. It doesn't even make sense. I'm just happy
Yeah,
I've got both.
look, at the end of the day, what I've done is I've just made my decision on who I believe is the better player. That's how I've
Just
done
went eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Plain and simple, dude. Anyway. Now, this is the most feisty one on the list, I think. And we're going with the center combination. John de Villiers and Jacques Fourie, Nonu and Conrad Smith. You could even say Nonu and Tano Umaga. But let's go Nonu and Conrad Smith. And Matt Gito and Adam Ashley Cooper. And people might think Gito and Adam Ashley Cooper, like, bro,
They cooked.
they were saucy. They were
No,
so good. They were so
yeah, they
good.
were. They were. But you cannot disrespect the combination of Nonu and Smith. They were part of the greatest, if not, okay, one of the greatest teams of all time. I mean, obviously, people say South Africa 1923 or All Blacks. I think it was 11 to 15. Yeah. So
Yeah, but it was kind of already from like 2009 almost.
exactly. So
They
yeah,
just
so they were
dominated.
part of that, and yeah, you can't disrespect them. So they would be my first choice, and then yeah, and I'm going Jean de Villiers and Fourie is just they're right behind, like literally right behind. I just think based on how good that All Black side was and how good that backline was, I would go them over de Villiers and Free.
You're gonna hate me.
You've dropped our guys, haven't you? You chop.
I have. I've gone.
That's
I've
disgraceful.
I've gone. Nonu and Smith, obviously, best centre combination to ever live, right? And this is no discredit to de Villiers and Jacques Fourie. No discredit. But they played in the same time as Guito and Adam Ashley Cooper. What is that win-loss record that we've always been talking about? And they played against these guys. I remember just seeing Guito with that scrum cap and thinking, this guy's unreal. Adam Ashley Cooper, the guy never looks like he should have scored a try. He always looks like, he just looks like a teacher. But somehow he was a try-scoring machine. He did magic, right? And I want to put some respect on it. I loved Matt Guito. And I'm thinking back to Rugby 08. That's what I'm thinking back to. Matt Guito with a star next to his name.
Yeah.
Sensational. And I thought, I literally hated Adam Ashley Cooper just because of all the stuff that he did to us. So yeah. I'm going with that. And I've been open about it. I don't even think John de Villiers and Jacques Fourie South Africa's best centre combination. But yeah.
That's true.
I wouldn't go for that. Like,
I think they were still. Oh my goodness.
They were class. Listen, I'm not taking anything away from it. Like, Jacques Fourie was probably our best outside centre that you ever had, right? I don't think that's even a debate. Like, yeah, Jesse Creel, Lucania Armour, whatever. But Jacques Fourie was absolutely insane. But I'm just thinking, like, even the head-to-heads between those two, I don't even know how many times they went head-to-head, but like de Villiers and Fourie was a big part of us having that loser streak against Australia. Like, how many times haven't we got third place, right, with those guys playing? That's kind of what I'm basing it on. So that's why those guys are on the bench. But yeah, obviously, unanimous, Nonu Smith, greatest centre combination ever. Let's show some. I just showed some love to the Wallabies, so now it's time for you to do it as well. We're going to have our Pocock, Hooper, George Smith. Can only pick one. I know they all play together. Pick one. Well, start bench, drop.
Oof. This is a flippin' tough one, actually.
It is.
This is really tough.
Because there's different approaches to it, right? Like, obviously, Hooper played the longest of them all. But while he played with them, was he ever really the best? But he probably made the biggest impact over the course of the years, right? Like, Pocock, Prime, insane. George Smith, wow.
Well, this is tough. Oh. I'm going to start... I'm going to start Hooper. I'm going to start Hooper because I just think... but then, no, I don't... Oh, for goodness sake.
I'll go. I'm starting Hooper. I just thought his leadership, calmness, was great at the breakdown. He played all these years. I do that, and then from the bench, David Pocock. Impact, feisty at the breakdown, absolutely lethal. Like, give him 30 minutes. Hooper for 60 or for 50, and then Pocock just to cause absolute carnage and damage at every single breakdown. Just a rough guy. I don't think Hooper can do that from the bench. Pocock.
Yeah, no. I think I'll stick with...
Bring out the bandages.
I'll stick with Hooper starting. That makes sense. It just does make sense. Obviously, such a good leader. And also, he knew how to get under people's skins. And he was tough as nails. So, Hooper for sure.
He could have easily still played today.
Yeah, for sure. Easy.
I don't know why he's gone, but...
yeah. Australian rugby is not looking good. Anyways.
Yeah, I mean, even if we go a bit off topic now, like, if Hooper played now, that could have been really beneficial to them with a new coach, a lot of young talent coming through, just like the experience of Hooper to still have, even if you take the captaincy away, but just have him in the leadership group, just to bring like a bit of calmness here and there over the pitch. He was a brilliant player, right? Like I think if you kept him for another 2 years, if he was still performing for another 2 years, give him another World Cup, even whatever, right? But just like that kind of stability in the team that he could bring. I don't know. You should bring him out of retirement. Bring him back.
Yeah. And I'm gonna agree with you. I think Pocock would play a better role off the bench for sure. George Smith was phenomenal though, and obviously his leadership as well was one of a kind. I'm sure the Wallabies love and adore him. But yeah, I think Hooper's kind of just more lethal off the bench, to be honest.
So you're starting Hooper and then you're going Pocock off the
Pocock
bench.
off the bench, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, okay, so we're in agreement there. Okay, let's go back to modern day. I think this is an exciting one. We got Sasha, D-Mac, and Santi Carreras. Do you want to throw in Noah Lolosio as well? Let's do a 4-1, and you can just shove out 2 guys.
Okay, well, Noah Lolosio. Say that again. I can't even
Noah
pronounce
Lolosio.
I'm so bad at these. Noah Lolosio.
Lolosio, yeah.
Lolosio. Okay, sorry, I'm so bad at those types of.
Just say Noah.
I'm terrible.
Just say Noah.
Noah. Okay, Noah. He's going straight out again.
Yeah. Get the fuck out of here, bro.
And I'm also
He's sensational for the Brumbies. That's why I thought, listen,
cool
we just add him here.
I mean, that's cool, but you're hanging with proper talent, yes, and not to say he's not a talent, obviously.
Yeah, but the way that he plays for the Brumbies is the same as D-Mac plays for the Chiefs, and that's why I brought it up, because D-Mac has not been great for the All Blacks, albeit he had a sensational game last weekend, like really good. But you've been loud and proud about saying he's a fullback, and we're talking about fly-offs out here. Lolosio is a 10, and he's arguably on the same level as D-Mac when it comes to Super.
That's what I'm saying. We have to drop 2, and the second getting dropped is D-Mac.
Word! You caught me off guard.
Yes, sir. Yep, it is happening. He's not.
I like it.
He's not the 10 that I like. I think if him and Bowden just swapped roles, it would be such a more well-gelled, well-flowing backline. And I think they'd be way more threatening. So that's why I'm not, because D-Mac's a bad player. Put that at 15, you'll probably have one of the best counter-attacking 15s in the world. Just that good. But yeah, so D-Mac's out. I'm going to start Sasha, and I'm going to Carreras on the bench.
If this was URC or any form of franchise rugby, if we made a Super Rugby team, those are arguably the 2 guys that you start. Right,
because Sasha just play the 10 role for the
you could throw Sasha in the bin, you can throw Santi Carreras in the bin. Franchise rugby, those 2 guys, give them some open field and just create magic. But for this international rugby, I agree with you on Sasha starting. Okay, the guy's absolutely insane. Yeah, it's biased. The guy's 21, but I mean, he is so good. He is so good. Like if he stays with the box for quite some time and he actually lives up to potential, there's no doubt that he will be the greatest South African fly-off ever. That's how highly I rate him. Obviously, that could be overrating him, but just like with the potential, what we can see from him already, and to be fair, we don't have the greatest 10s really over the years, not really renowned for our 10.
Yeah, true.
I don't agree with your bench. Like Santi Carreras, decent. I mean, too safe. He had a good game against New Zealand in that first test. But yeah, I think D-Mac offers you enough from the bench to come and make an impact. So I will put some respect on D-Mac. I stand by him being the Elton Yankees of the All Blacks in a respectful way. That is so good for franchise rugby, just hasn't done it with the All Blacks yet. But he's also not really got consistent game time with the All Blacks. He's starting to get it now under Scott Robertson. I think this was his first real game that he kind of stood out for me a bit against Argentina. So we'll have to wait and see how he does against the Springboks. But Sasha, D-Mac, the other 2, get out of here. Anyway, we've got 2 more, but we'll cut to 1. Okay. Because it was, should we cut it? Maybe not. Let's do it. Willie Leroux, Israel Folau, Ben Smith.
This is actually ridiculously hard.
It's
And
not.
people immediately are gonna go, is he Falau starting? They're gonna go Ben Smith off the bench, and they're gonna say Willie drop.
Yeah.
And I hate to do it to Willie. But that's what has to happen, isn't it? Israel Folau starts, Ben Smith comes off the bench and drop Willie.
I can proudly say that Willie is one of the most underrated players currently, because people still think about like 2-3 years ago, Willie that couldn't catch a ball. It was just like aggravating all of us. But he's not on the level of the discussion of two of the greatest fullbacks ever. Not two of, the two, in my opinion. Ben Smith and Israel Folau. Israel Folau starts. He's the greatest fullback ever, in my opinion. Well, Israel Dag up there as well, but I'll give it to Folau. Really great player, reads the game nicely and stuff, but he doesn't have that it factor like the other two does. Ben Smith, I mean, this guy played center, played wing, played fullback, shone in all three. How many can say that?
What's crazy is like when Ben Smith
Not
got
really
the ball,
center, but yeah.
When he got the ball and it was a counter attack, you just knew he would make something happen. Whether it was putting a good kick up, whether it was breaking the line, whether it was playing the right man, whatever he did, you just knew his attacking ability from the back was just insane. And just the way he read the game as well, like super, super just intelligent when it comes to rugby IQ. So, yeah, it's tough. But then Israel Folau, you think like you could kick a ball like 200 feet in the air and you could have Peter Steff, Eben Etzebeth, and all these guys running at you, and Izzy Folau would manage to catch it and still make a few meters somewhere.
Yeah.
Like,
Thing
he
is,
was
like,
just...
And when you talk about Israel Folau, there's not a lot of stars in rugby. Like, obviously, we've got DuPont now, right? That would be seen as a celebrity. Obviously, Israel Folau's career got cut a lot shorter than it should have been. Like, he could have probably still played now. He was a star. Like, this guy had a celebrity aura around him. He just owned the field when he was on it. Magic. Sensational under the eyeball. I mean, Israel Folau, by far the best 15 that I've ever seen in my lifetime. In my mid 20s lifetime. Crazy. Anyway, let's wrap it up. Final one. Eben Etzebeth, Brodie Retallick, Nathan Sharp. Who are you getting rid of? It's pretty basic, right?
Yeah, you get rid of Nathan Sharp. No disrespect. I mean, he was a big player for the Wallabies, but just not on the level of these two. So, but obviously, I mean, All Blacks will say Brodie because he has player of the years and etc. I mean, that's fair. Give him his flowers. He's a great player, but he makes my bench. I mean, we're talking about Eben Etzebeth, where he's just consistently been one of the best players in the world for years and years and years. It's just like a DuPont comes and has the best season of his life. Then a Bowden comes and has two of the best seasons of his life. And it's like he's always around these players that are just having the best years of their life. And Eben's just consistently second or third or second best in the world or whatever. I hope he wins the Player of the Year before the end of his career. I really do. I think he
was so
deserves
close
it.
last year, to be fair.
I really thought I probably had him winning it last year, but that's no disrespect to Artie because he was also...
He could be in the running as well, with the same as we said about the Peter Steff thing, right? Like, they even though it was announced after the World Cup, the decision was already made before the World Cup. Or that's how Brett made me understand it, right?
I think
so. Now you think Eben Etzebeth, insane in the World Cup, won the World Cup. If he wins the Rugby Championship, he's done that. He's gone to the Sharks. He's won the European Challenge Cup. Obviously, had a bad URC, but he was pivotal points in literally every single one of those teams. Like, arguably one of the best players. He was the best player for the Sharks. He probably was our second best player in the World Cup next to Peter Steff, right? Or well, he was a massive point of difference. And then obviously at the Rugby Championship, it's only been 2 games in, but he's played both games. So, and he's been good in both.
Look, I'm going to start Eben because that Oak is just, he's going down as, I think, How can I say this without getting absolutely slandered by South Africans who love Buckies and people who think that he would never be this? But
He
I think
has
he's going to
left
go down.
he has left Buckies and Victor Matfield in the dust. Like he's left them in the dust.
He'll go down as the greatest South African player of all time, and I truly believe that he'll get over 150 tests.
He already is.
It's crazy, and I do think he's the best Springbok of all time. I truly believe that.
It's not a debate, Trevor. I know you don't want to make people angry. Victor Matfield's got nothing on him. Bucky's Botha's got nothing on him. He is by far the greatest South African to wear the Springbok jersey. End of discussion. He starts Brodie Retallick on the bench as the second best lock to ever do it because Eben Etzebeth is not only the greatest South African to ever play, he's already the greatest lock to ever play this game. So Brodie Retallick on the bench, Nathan Sharp, who is that? Get him out of here. Anyway, that wraps up this episode. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. We do love and appreciate you guys. As we said earlier in the video, please do remember to like and subscribe to the channel. We do appreciate you guys, and we will see you on Friday. Bye.
Cheers.